Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about filters, and in particular today I'll be using a circular polarising filter and a set of graduated neutral density filters. Now the reason I want to use those is we've got a very bland greyish sky today. It's a bit overcast, a bit muggy, and the sky is very grey. There's not really very much detail in it at all. Unfortunately what that is doing, it means that the light is quite poor as well. So I want to try and add a bit of contrast and a bit of drama to the scenes by using graduated neutral density filters. And what they do is they will do exactly that. They will add contrast and detail to a scene. On my way to this spot I've walked along a path that I've walked hundreds of times before, and I've spotted a couple of things that I've never ever spotted before. Firstly, on the one side of the path there's quite a dense woodland, and because it's so dense I've never even bothered to look at it before. Now that we're coming into autumn and the leaves are starting to fall off the trees and the colours are changing all around, that particular woodland looks very different, and I can see a possibility of capturing a couple of compositions in there now, which I've never ever done before. But then the other side of that path there's also another bit of woodland, and I noticed a very small path leading down to a bridge that I've never noticed before, even though I've walked past it so many times. And it's something that I'd like to go back and have a look at and probably use the polarising filter in those two woodlands. I'm going to put this polarising filter onto the front of the lens now and see if I can't improve some of the colours and the contrast and all the detail in this image here. So that's that image taken now. I've taken one with the polarising filter on and one with the polarising filter off, and I want to try and compare the difference when I get back to the computer and show you the difference on screen. So I'll show you those images now and then I'm going to move on. I've come to this spot by this pond because I like this scene behind me. Just into the pond there are several little wooden groins sticking up out of the pond itself, and they are creating a line across the pond. And then on the opposite side of the pond we've got a pathway which has got a line of woodland along this front edge of it, so it's kind of overlooking the pond itself, and we've got reflections from the trees in that woodland along that path. But we've also got a bit of hazy sunshine as well over the pond, which is creating quite an ethereal image as well. This one may end up being a black and white, but I'll shoot it in colour to start with, and then if I need to I'll convert it to black and white afterwards. But I'm going to set up and take this shot now because I quite like it, and this will be using the graduated neutral density filters to bring down some of the temperature of that sunlight that's coming through the clouds now. I had to get away from that last spot I was at. This is a public park and there are a lot of people walking their dogs around the park, and then other people just walking on their own. And there was a bit of a dispute between one woman who was trying to walk through the park and another woman whose two dogs were off their lead. They weren't doing any harm, they were just walking along minding their own business, having a bit of a play amongst themselves. But some woman 20 odd yards away decided she wanted to have an argument about it and make a big fuss and try and force the other woman to put her dogs on the lead. There was no need for that, and there's not an awful lot you can do about it. So I decided to make a hasty retreat and come into this woodland here. This is the woodland I was talking about earlier. I walked along the path which I've walked along many times, and I've never really taken any notice of this woodland to the one side of it. I'm about 50 yards from the path. If I turn round, I don't know how well you can see, just running through there, just there, that's the path that I walk along to get to here. So I've come into this woodland because I just thought it seemed like there were some interesting compositions here, and I'm glad I did. I've got this tree behind me which is kind of perfect for a composition, and there are a couple of gnarly trees in front of it as well, and there's a little bit of sunlight coming through the tree canopy now, which is kind of casting a nice bit of light on those trees in front of that taller tree there. But also I've got this tree here on the one side of the image and this tree here on the other side of the image, and they're going to create a framework for this image as I take this shot now. I'm going to set up and take this shot, and I'll show you the images in just a moment. After taking that last shot, I turned round, and as I turned round I discovered there was another shot literally right next to it. I turned through 30 degrees and there were some more trees that were kind of all standing on a bit of a slant, and I couldn't quite work out why that was, but they made a very interesting composition, so I decided to stop and take that one as well. So I'll show you that image now. In the meantime, I've come to this little spot now, and this is the other side of that path that I was talking about. Just through there, that little cut in through there is the path that runs literally from right to left behind me, and I've walked down here into this little area here, and as you can see there's a little wooden bridge behind me which spans a little brook in the middle of this little bit of woodland. It's quite a nice spot actually. The sun's coming through the trees a little bit here. If I turn around you might be able to see the sun behind me. The sun's coming through the trees just there, and I'm not entirely sure exactly where the best composition is for this bridge behind me. I don't know whether it's this side or the other side of the bridge. I think possibly the other side is better, because from the other side you've got a little shaft of sunlight that I've just walked through, which is just the opposite side of the bridge then, and that kind of draws the eye towards that little bit of sunlight by using the bridge as a leading line. So I'm going to go and take that shot now as well. Well, I've just dropped another clanger, but you wouldn't watch these vlogs if I didn't do that every now and then, would you? I decided this image was perfect for a polarising filter, so I suddenly discovered that I put it in my pocket the last time I used it, where it was not free from dust and scratches. So that was a bit of a daft thing to do, wasn't it? I hope you've enjoyed this vlog today. I've enjoyed making it, to be quite honest with you, even though I've made a complete fool of myself with the polarising filter again. But it's been good fun. I've got quite a lot of images and enjoyed filming in these spots. So if you've enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.